I wanted to kind of show you a couple of interesting things about the martial arts called Wing Chun. Wing Chun Kung Fu I've been studying for an awful long period of time in my life. I first started out as a boxer, then I got into wrestling through a junior high school, and into college. And then when I got out of college, I wanted to do some other kinds of activity, and boxing wasn't something I wanted to get into. Again, so I started doing some martial arts, and I found that Wing Chun was the thing for me because it had a lot to do with hands and trapping and a lot of deceptive and deceiving motions. It was a straight ahead attack system. There was really no frills and thrills to it. It wasn't a bunch of high kicking and a bunch of, wonderful, crazy, weird sounds. It was just direct and compact, and you either won or you lost, and that was it. And I combined that with my boxing hands and my wrestling, and I was pretty well rounded and could take care of the business I needed to take care of. Thankfully, through my adult ages, especially into my 30s, I didn't have to do too much of that funaniness out there. But anyhow, I thought I would show you the Wing Chun, my weight set, and it's kind of where I train and work out when I'm not with you guys. This is kind of what I'm doing. So it's a fabulous Friday in Southern California, and we always like to do something a little bit different. Sometimes a fun time Fridays. We welcome ourselves into the weekend here. We're happy to have you along with us, our listeners and our viewers. Hey, tell a friend and let them know that you're broadcasting and watching and chiming in and having the interactive experience with yours truly, me, Jesse T, on the Jesse T Show, live at 5, straight on the point. The world according to Torero. So it's good to have you along with us here as we end up a terrific week. We covered a lot of interesting material this week. It was really a lot of different kinds of things to talk about. Had a lot of fun, but I thought I'd kind of connect some dots here and bring you up to speed in 2016, but try to go back 600 years. Now, how am I going to do that? Utilizing the Wing Chun dummy. Well, first I'm going to show you the Wing Chun dummy form. There's 138 moves. And a lot of people do it really fast, but you're supposed to do it really slow because it's a training of preciseness and a training of balance and a training of concentration. This isn't fighting, this is training. There's a big difference between fighting and training. But one of the things I wanted to show, you can see there are 3 sections here. You got these both represent the arms right here. Not left, not right, not right, not left. They're equal. One's left and right, one's left and right. You have the middle section here, and you have this represents the leg, okay? So you've got 3 sections here. And the thing about Wing Chun, which I like so much, is a deceiving art. It's in close, tight fighting. You have to enter the house of fire to put the fire out. That's one of the Wing Chun maxims that we learn here. My Sifu is Gary Lam. His Sifu was Wang Shang Liang. His Sifu was Ip Man. You know the 3 Ip Man movies that you've seen Donnie Yen do? Ip Man 1, 2, and 3? Well, they tell the story about Ip Man. Ip Man is my great grandmaster in Wing Chun. He brought Wing Chun to the Western world, Hong Kong, out of China. And Wang Shang Liang was his behind the closed door student. He had 5 of them, and he was known as the man with the talking hands because he won hundreds of BAMO fights, rooftop fights in Hong Kong. Sometimes people would fall off the rooftop to their demise, but that's how it was back then. And it was undefeated, and he always picked up the challenge when somebody came to challenge his Sifu. That was Ip Man. My Sifu, Gary Lam, who's in Monterey Park in Alhambra, he's the greatest Wing Chun practitioner today. He's in his mid-60s. I've been with him, just about 20 years now. And he studied with Wang Shang Liang, was his chief senior instructor for about 16 years. He was a Wing Chun Kung Fu fighting champion in Hong Kong several times over. And he also went to Muay Thai and became a Muay Thai fighting champion as well in his younger days. So he combined both of those forces and created a system that works real good for bigger guys. Wing Chun was a system that was developed for smaller people, primarily women first, but it can work for everybody. So I've studied with him for a long time, and by far I am not his best student. I'm not the best representation of Gary Lam's system by far. I would suggest that Greg LeBlanc, my senior, about a year and a half ahead of me from the OG guys, the backyard guys, who we actually studied the old-fashioned way in Gary Lam's backyard. Greg LeBlanc is probably the finest of Gary Lamb's students. Terrific. He's up in Oakland, California. He's been up there for a number of years. But, I've trained some people, coached a little bit. It's an exercise for me to stay in shape. One of the things I really like about this is that your body is working in full motion from top to bottom all the time. It's just not your hands. It's just not your feet. It's both feet and hands working at the same time continuously. So it's deceiving. What you see in the opponent, what they see, is not what they're actually getting hit with. They're actually getting hit with what they see, but what they don't see is what is actually doing the damage. And that's one of the things about the dummy right here, the wooden dummy, your training partner that never, ever gets tired. I get tired before my training partner gets tired. Let me tell you, I got 20 years of chi in this dummy, 20 years of sweat, blood, and tears in this dummy here, and it gives it back. We have a relationship. Yeah, I have a relationship with a dummy. Yes. No, not a dummy mannequin, a wooden dummy. And sometimes I have a relationship with Bob back there. Bob pisses me off sometimes. Anyhow, okay, so the reason why I'm going to break and start the program off today, as we move into 2016, we're going to start right now with the Wing Chun dummy, because I want to show you some of the deception that takes place, so you can actually see physical deception, 2 things or 3 things happening at once. So I'm going to go real slow. I'm going to start off right now. This is how we approach the dummy, with great respect, because the dummy is our training partner. This is called the horse stand. So hopefully you can see that on our Facebook Live page and on our Skype page, which is broadcasting out to facebook.com/The Power of Voices. All right, so here we go. So come here, approach the dummy. That's a head grab. Boom. Now if you notice right there, boom, this was a head grab and an arm grab at the same time. 2 things going on at the same time. Okay, 1, 2. 2 things going on at the same time. So it's you tack in, go in, you got the arm, and you got the head. 2 things going on at the same time. Okay? That's what we do with Wing Chun. It's 2 to 5 things going on at the same time. So what you feel is the head, but what you don't feel is the arm. See? Deception. We hit you with something you feel and see, but we get you with something you don't know what's happening. It's deception. Human beings can only assess so much material at once that comes at them. So Wing Chun is a martial art of deception and attack and defense at the same time. Okay, so let's go here. Come here. Boom. Boom. Come here like this. Tap the dummy. Inside the fire. The house is burning. We go inside. Here's the punch. The punch to the midsection and the defense on the arm and to the head. The defense, the punch, defense to the head. Right here. So you see we have that going on that side. So once again, 2 things happening at once. Okay? Then we roll it, boom, boom. Okay? Now this is, you're pulling somebody down, and then you're popping them up. See, 2 things happening at the same time. So now we go back to the other side. Boom. Go in here, attack. See the attack? You're going to see it now as it comes from this side. See? Right here, I'm opening it up for you. You got the attack, the defense, and attack at the same time. Inside the gate, inside the fire, inside the house that's burning. That's how we put out the fire. Up close and personal. Okay, I'm going to come here. Boom, 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 boom. Again, okay? Now, the next set is sort of a punching, inside punching. See that? That was 2 things at once. I'll do it slow. Boom, 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 boom. Boom, 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 boom. Okay, I added a few things to it. Let's do it again. See? Boom. This pop. You see that? This is a punch and a pull at the same time. So you're pulling the arm down and you're punching at the same time from the ground. Here, from the heel. So boom. Right? All right, so you see how that works? So again, one, dun, 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 and a throw. Double pull, throw. Okay? Wing Chun. Deceiving. You're dealing with 1 thing, 3 things are happening to you. Okay? So, we come here. It's our first kick. Okay, come here, get in the way. Now we get thrown away. Our guy overpowers us. So we pop, turn, and kick. So it goes like this. Boom, 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 boom. See? 2, 3 things at once happening. The deception. You don't see the leg. You don't feel it. What you do is you see the arms. You see the pop. But when you're throwing away, I'm defending, protecting. I've already hit twice. Boom. He comes at me, I kick. Boom, boom, same thing. Boom, boom. See? Got it? All right. That's the first part of the 138 moves. See, Wing Chun gets you where you're not looking. It's the deception. Now I'm going to go through the rest of it because I can't start it without finishing it. But I'll stop and talk a little bit more in a second. Okay. Here we go, my friends. So I'll start from the beginning. Here we go. I'm going to go slow. That's the first part. Here's the second part. As we move into the second part. Attacking in, coming out, pulling, kicking at the same time. Turning, pulling, kicking at the same time. See? The pull and the kick at the same time. 2 things happening at once. Isn't that fun? That's a lot of fun. Let me tell you. A push, pushing up and kicking 3 times. He doesn't see the kicks. Isn't that cool? Punch, block. See the leg? The leg is tripping. As I enter his center line, as I center line him and enter inside, I punch, block, and trip at the same time. He doesn't feel that. The only thing he feels is this. He doesn't feel this. Deception. Love it. You don't see where you're really getting injured at. Okay? That's how that works. So I'll do it again. Here we go. Oh, we can't forget about the other side. See the leg? There's the trip. There's the punch. There's the block. Now this here falls off into this. See how that did? Right through his face. Right through his stomach. I'm going to palm strike him because I'm going to break his ribs. Right here. I'm going to break his ribs and break his nose. I'm going to trip him right here. He's not going to see it. The only thing he's going to see is this. Okay? See how that works? Isn't that crazy? That's why I love Wing Chun. It's so decisively deceiving. That's what it's all about. The world is a deception. The world is a deceptive place. You've got to know what's happening to you somewhere else. Think that thought for a second. Okay? So from here, from this move here, you just come back and roll again. Boom. Okay? So we'll do it again. Boom, boom, boom. This last part. Then we're going to go inside, and we're going to take a break. Okay. Now I'm traveling across it because I got to change my angle. I got to change the direction. But I'm facing. I'm traveling. Right? So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to kick him and punch him and pull him at the same time. So boom, here I go. You'll see it. Boom, here's the punch, here's the pull, and here's the kick. So here it comes. Okay? Now I'm going to do the same thing. Boom, boom, here it comes. See it? See the kick? See that? That's the pull. That's a tanda. That turns into a pull. This here turns into a punch. And I broke his knee. Popped him in the side of the face. And messed up his teeth. How fun can that be? Right? And then we dip here, and we go, boom. That's inside knee. See, I'm inside him. Bust that knee out. Right? Come this way. Got to get the other knee. Hey, he's got to be equally a paraplegic. I can't leave him standing on one leg. That wouldn't be fair. Right? Boom. Right? Got it? Boom. Wing Chun. Beautiful format. Beautiful martial art. Lots of fun. Great for your whole body movement. Most importantly, what we learned today is we learned the deception of what's coming at you, but what you don't see happening. Think about that. We'll be back with you on thepowerofvoices.com and both our facebooklive.com formats right here on the Jesse T Show, live at 5.
Welcome to the new world of talk radio, thepowerofvoices.com.
Attention Las Vegas residents. Olympic Cleaning Services is the company for all your green cleaning needs. Call us now, 866-984-7444. Olympic Cleaning Services specializes in residential, commercial, construction, move-in, move-out, carpet cleaning, auto detailing, and we also provide emergency services when you need it. Call us now, 866-984-7444. For all first-time customers, you'll receive 15% off. Call us now, 866-984-7444, or go to OlympicCleaningservices.com. Go green today.
News and entertainment your way, whenever you want it, wherever you want it, on any device you're using at the moment, right? Then the internationally award-winning Crown City Network has you covered. Our website, crowncitynews.com, has written news stories and videos from news to talk, entertainment, politics, and more. Crown City Network. We connect your world.
Hey, it's Josefa Salinas, your host of Check Out This Book, where each week we talk with different authors or independent filmmakers about their projects. Wouldn't you love to know about a book before you download it or buy it? What was the reason that the author didn't write that next book in the series? Or why did the character have to die? Or in that independent film, what really was the motivation? Come on and join me on Check Out This Book and find out what everybody's talking about.
In 50 feet, turn left. Why are you driving so slowly?
After a few drinks, I'm taking it slow.
Well, you're not fooling the cop behind you.
What?
Get ready to pay in 0.1 miles.
Getting pulled over for buzz driving could cost you around $10,000 in fines, legal fees, and increased insurance rates. Nothing kills a buzz like getting pulled over for buzz driving, because buzz driving is drunk driving. Brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the Ad Council.
Every hiring manager knows that a company is only as good as the people it's made from. So where do you find the best people? That may surprise you.
Meet the grads of life. Young adults of unique determination and experience. An ideal fit for your company in an entry-level position, internship, or even mentorship. They might not have every qualification you typically look for, but they're exactly who your company needs.
This is talent worth knowing about.
Go to gradsoflife.org to learn how to find, cultivate, and train this great pool of untapped talent. Brought to you by the Ad Council and gradsoflife.org.
Who says you can't have fun and learn at the same time? Thepowerofvoices.com.
Okay, we're back with you here at www.thepowerofvoices.com. Hey, Lee, back at the studio, do you hear us pretty good?
No problem.
Is there any kind of echo or bounce back or anything?
No, you're good.
Okay. Okay, because I'm getting a little bit of bounce back. That's obviously not you. As long as it's going out clear, that's fine. All right. All right. I got like a million phones going on here. Okay. All right, my friends. So, what I wanted to talk about today was that deception. Was that kind of cool? I got a little bit of fun time right there. That's what I do in my fun time. I train on the wooden dummy. I use a 6.5 point dragon pole. It's about a 9-foot pole. I train with my double Bacham Do swords, my single edge blade swords and knives. I do my routines. Wing Chun is and I hit the heavy bag and mess around with Bob a little bit. I love messing around with Bob right there. That's how I kind of stay in shape, do some road work and train a little bit. You got to train some more, the doctor says so. I take a swig of water here. I got the camera set up this way today because I want to make sure that you can see, because I'm going to share some things with you guys on the computer screen that I think are pretty interesting. And but first we'll talk a little bit at thepowerofvoices.com. Hey, now remember, download that free app. Get that free app and download it, because then you'll be able to always have us on your smartphone. And it's a free app for Apple and Androids. And you'll always know when we're live at the Jesse T Show from 5 to 6. We're broadcasting right now, straight on the point, and we are broadcasting on two basic foundational platforms right now. They are Facebook.com/Jesse Terrero, and they are Facebook.com/The Power of Voices. The Power of Voices being our parent broadcast format, of which you'll hear us out and see us at the same time out on YouTube Live, and you'll also hear us and see us on UPeak, as well as StreamUp and many others that Lee, Baby Michaels, hooks us up on. We call him the Guru, baby. He's a genius, the Guru. Lee, I need some help. I need some help, everybody calls him. And he always rises to the occasion, ladies. Ooh, ooh, wow, yeah. Over there. Anyhow, the second format that we're on, as I kind of bounce from phone to phone, that's my cat. No, I'm gonna throw this at my. Leave me alone. You bug me too much. She's 17 years old and she's driving me. Move. No. Throw my hat at it. Go. Quit meowing at me. I'll give you everything you want later. I have for 17 years. Sorry, I didn't shut the studio doors and my socks. My 17-year-old cat is coming in, meowing me to death. Meow, meow, meow. So she does all night long. Meow, meow. She is the most vocal cat that you've ever met in my lifetime. I'll tell you, I told her many times, I'm going to put you out for eagle material. I never do. Her and I have these talks, so every single night, you got to be quiet. You can't be messing with me when I'm on the air and everywhere. Socks, what's wrong with you? You can't be bugging me with all your meow meows. Impulsive. Drive a guy nuts. No, she's a good cat. For 17 years, she kept our yard free of gophers and snakes and lizards and possums and rats and mice. For 17 years, man, Socks controlled the neighborhood. Down the block, the other side of the wall, other side of the street, and the other side of the wall. And she's a little cat, right? She'd take those big toms on, and they had no chance with Socks. You talk about a feisty little Wing Chun cat. Yeah. So she paid her dues for God and country and to be taken care of. And boy, we take care of Socks. But you still drive me crazy. All right. Nah. All right. So, deception. Deception is the name of the game. And I'm going to bring this flash forward to 2016 in our presidential election. Whether you like Clinton or Trump, whether you like Johnson or that girl Jill from the other party, I don't know too much about her. I just hear people talking a little bit. Deception in the United States government, in our state governments, and our local governments, deception is the name of the game. That's why I wanted to start off the show with a little Wing Chun word, to show you that you're getting hit with one thing, but you're really getting taken down with the other. And that's really a physical manifestation that I wanted to show off as to how subtle and how quietly deception rolls in on us human beings. And we really don't understand why things end up the way they end up. And we try to trace back, but we can't figure it out because we were so desperate dealing with the pummel to the face, right? The boom and the boom and the boom to the face, that we didn't see what was going on below the belly. We didn't see the kicking and the leg kicking and the knee kicking. We didn't see the push and pull, the push, pull, and push punch, pull punch, offense, defense at the same time. We were only able to deal with one thing. One thing. And so the kings of that, the supreme ruler, the empire of empires, the ones that really do that better than anybody on God's blue-green earth. And you've heard let's see where you're at. Rothschilds, okay. Now, I'm not going to learn this stuff, but I'm going to
Jesse, I think you're having some bandwidth issues on your end. I don't know if you can hear me or not. But when you start playing with your computer, you start going in and out.
I hear you.
Okay.
Okay, I'll talk it then. All right, so is it okay right now?
It's a little garble.
Is it all right?
Are you still trying to download some video?
Is that better? No, but is that better right there?
Not really.
It's a little bit better?
Just a tad. It's like your words are breaking up.
All right. Well, no problem. I don't need the computer.
Okay, now it's good.
For some visuals. Now it's okay?
Yes.
Okay, it's okay right now.
Yeah, you're good now.
Okay. So I had some breakup going on, right?
Yeah. Are you wireless on your computer as well?
Yeah, I'm wireless everywhere here.
Yeah, that's the problem. Your wireless network can't handle all that video at the same time.
Okay, so this is what we'll do. We'll talk it. It's no big deal. So anyhow, when you look at the Rothschild dynasty that was created in the 18th century, the 1700s, when Meyer Rothschild came from Germany into England, and he was a sophisticated jeweler who had a lot of gold and silver. He made a lot of jewelry for the German aristocracy at the time. And he immigrated to England, and he became essentially the main financier of the king and queen of England at that time, and eventually took over the chairmanship or CEO-ship of the Bank of England, which at that time was the King's Bank. So he had 5 sons, and those 5 sons, as they grew older during the 18th century, the 1700s, as they grew older and they moved off into different countries. One went to the Netherlands, the Netherlands or the Dutch monarchy. The other went to Germany. The other one went to France. One went to India when India became a real big enclave for the English Empire. And of course, that one took over Hong Kong, which was an English province. So he was able to manufacture and deal with all the banking there. And then the old man stayed in England. So they created a banking system that really financed all the monarchies, their wars, their shipbuilding, their castle building, their adventures in distant far countries where their explorers were going. He financed all of that stuff and charged interest for that finance and made a tremendous amount of money, but more importantly, wealth and influence, power and control. And as his sons grew older, they not only got into banking, but they got into industrialization, farming, they got into city building, they got into shipbuilding, import-export businesses, mining, they got into slave trades, which were tremendous business and opportunities for the Rothschilds. Not only the African slave trade, but the Irish white slave trade, which was big business in Europe and Northern Africa. They got into financing different wars, both sides of the wars, the perceived good guys and the perceived bad guys hedging the bet. They became very, very influential over the next 200-300 years, a couple of hundred years for sure, from the mid-1700s. And they all passed away, and their sons, their number one sons or their number one daughters, inherited what they had created, and so forth and so forth and so forth, and gone on and on and on. They created what is known today as the centralized banking system, or the fiat banking system, and that is the ability to make money without having any money. And I'll explain that some other time. You can look that up, though, on a Google search, the fiat financial system. And the reason why they got into all this was because that's what they did. They were bankers, they were financiers, they were money-making machines connected to the monarchies of the world and the very high presidents and dictators and government officials and military officials as well. So we're talking the creme de la creme. We're talking the A-listers of A-listers of A-listers here. So as time has gone on and modern times have come of age after World War II and the massive Industrial Revolution, after the Civil War, what happened was the United States Federal Reserve Bank was created by the Rothschilds, lieutenant, and that was J.P. Morgan and another gentleman called Warburg. And these two gentlemen, plus several others, were the first chairmen placed on the Federal Reserve. And those were lifetime appointments at that time, back in the early 20th century. Well, they weren't really lifetime, but nobody contested. So all the industrialization of America and Western Europe and the world, the Rothschilds had their wonderful little hands all over it. So when you start looking at the power of the Rothschild dynasty, the good and the bad of it, the bad of it is they were a very incestuous family, slave trading, creating wars to create money, because everybody knows that wars create big dollars. Isn't that interesting? It's funny how wealthy industrialized nations are and become after wars end and during the war. Lots of bullets have to be made, canteens, and lots of food has to be canned. So they backed both sides of that. War is big business, and they realized that first here in America after the Civil War. There's a quote that Colt, the real guy, Colt, said that he was a fledgling company before the Civil War. He made so much money in the Civil War giving armaments to the Union and the Confederates that he became, a multi-millionaire by the end of the Civil War. And after the Civil War, that's when the Colt dynasty exploded in the West. So he's quoted as saying, and paraphrase, that there's big business in bullets. Think about that. And good guys and bad guys use bullets. So it doesn't matter where the business comes from. I'm going to tie this all together, guys. I'm going to tie this all together by the end of the show. Okay? I started off with an ancient martial art called Wing Chun to show that the initial attack is only set up for a deception of attack that you don't see or feel. Got to take another swig of water. So, as we move on into the 20th century and the Federal Reserve System is created, what happens is, all of a sudden, the Rothschilds have an instant money-making printing press. And that instant money-making printing press is the United States Treasury Department by way of the Federal Reserve, which is not an entity that is owned by anybody or run by anybody or governed by anybody. Neither is the IRS. And those both came around at the same time. Isn't that filled full of irony? That they print up more money and can do it, but not share it with you, and then tax you whatever you make so that they got more money, even more that they're printing up. Funny business, isn't it? It's a funny business. Oh, by the way, did you learn any of this in school? I fear not. Why? Why were we not allowed to learn this in school? I know why. They didn't want us to know. In radio, in the olden days, when there was no high technology like today, we used to call radio the imagination of the mind. And disc jockeys, radio personalities from top 40 radio stations, R&B radio stations and whatnot, it didn't matter, country, it didn't matter. They talked about the song and the artist, talked about what the station was doing in the community, had something cool to say about the day's events or something interesting about a new car or football team. They created this imagination in 10 seconds, tied into the song and the station, and developed this whole beginning, middle, and end story in 10 to 15 seconds, right? And you sat there and you listened to it in your car or at home on your radio, and your mind would go into this imagination. It was the imagination of the mind, the power of words. Well, what happened with all the technology, the secret information was divulged to the public that, one, most radio people, that's why they're radio people, they're not pretty enough for TV. Oh, not me, Jesse T. Oh, no. No. The Brown Beauty's on duty, baby. I've been all over the mastery of the media. But the voice. Some of these fellas, my buddies, had these beautiful, gothic, gorgeous voices. My godfather, Harry Newman, voice of God. When he spoke, the house would rattle. I mean, it was unbelievable. Worked at KLAC for 20 years. Hiya, how you doing? It's Harry Newman on the air. I could never get as low as he could go. Anyhow, when the technology and TV came in, the mystique of the radio imagination and the relationship with our listener changed, because all of a sudden they could see what we do. They could see that this imagination, this story we created, was really not there. We were created in the mind, on the airwaves, on the air, and everywhere in the minds. I touch you verbally with the voice and the words, right? In the real estate, the secret information was gone. In the real estate business, when all this technology came aboard, and now 95% of the people find out more about the property in the neighborhood than you, the real estate broker who's been in business for 40 years, like me, even know about it. So they got the secret information now. And the secret information used to be the address and the information we could give about the schools and the community and all those neat little things we can talk about. But that has gone away. The secret information is gone. That's why we weren't taught this thing about true banking of the planet and how our economy works. They didn't want us to know. They just want us to work. Work, work, work. Work, 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 work. And take. More and more and more and more and more. Take more taxes, take more taxes, take more taxes. Work, 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 work. Take from the rich, take from the rich, take from the rich. So that the rich decide to move out of the country, and now there's no rich to take from. So we become a third world nation. We're fast on the way to becoming a third world nation, ladies and gentlemen. We have way too many people on welfare, on a welfare state entitlement programs, and we should kick them all out, every single one of them on Monday. I'm sorry, and start all over and qualify properly. Reset the rules. That'll never happen though. That's the world according to Torero. But work, 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 and take our money. That's what they wanted us to learn. And we learned it well. And we did it well. In the meantime, the government agencies were working in the envelope of the giant financiers like the Rothschilds. Not only did they set up the centralized bank in America, but they have centralized banks in every single nation on the planet Earth, with the exception of 2. And you wouldn't be able to guess which ones they were. Oh no, not Russia. There's a centralized bank in Russia. There's a centralized bank in China. There's a centralized bank in India. There's even a centralized bank in Iran and Iraq and Israel and New Zealand and Australia and Japan and Korea and Malaysia and Sri Lanka and Saudi Arabia and Jakarta and Afghanistan and Pakistan and Norway, Sweden and Finland, Portugal, Spain and France. And guess who owns all of those centralized banks? I do. I'm secretly a Rothschild. You didn't know that. Yeah. I just posed as a Torero. That's my deception. I'm secretly a Rothschild. Didn't know that, did you? Shh. Don't tell anybody my secret. The Rothschilds own all those banks. Plus, they own all the major industries are owing to them because they give them the loans. Follow the money, follow the power. Follow the power, follow the control. So now they've created this deceptionary marketplace of banking and economy that the government has been paid off, because if it costs $1 billion to become president of the United States, Hillary Clinton's she spent $200 million already? It's unbelievable. Who has $200 million to spend? That's why they develop PACs. That's why they develop these groups that are allowed to be enthralled, engaged with millions of dollars, hundreds of millions of dollars. And they can do anything they want with them. See? And you can't tell me that Hillary Clinton or Donald Trump, Johnson, forget about it. He's never going to be president. That's like going to the Wizard of Oz and putting on the ruby red slippers and think you're going to tap them together and you're going to be back in Kansas. Little do you know the deception there was the wizard was just a traveling salesman with a mask that snorted smoke and fire and had a big voice. They had to get in a balloon and fly back to Kansas, or wherever the heck they flew to. So we have a government and we have a banking economy and corporations that come at you in a certain way, sort of like Wing Chun. They come at you with a straight punch. Boom, 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 boom. But what they hit you with is a leg kick, a knee kick. They hit you with a pull and a punch and a leg kick. They hit you with eating your position, coming into the house to put the fire up, attacking your center, coming at you at an angle, hitting you with a punch, blocking and hitting at the same time, kicking you, knocking you off balance, but you only remember the bloody nose. You don't know how your knee got broken. See, it's the deception that they do so well. The magician at the magic castle. You watch his left hand. He's right in your face. He's 6 inches from your face with the coin or the cards. And all of a sudden, those same coin and cards are behind your ear and he pulls it out with the right hand. How does he do that? It's the deception, the trick. And that's what we humans fall for all the time. We are easily malleable, deceived instruments. It's easy to deceive a human. It's easier to deceive a human than it is a Bengal tiger. A Bengal tiger only wants a couple of things out of life. Eat, sleep, fight a few times, and make baby Bengal tigers. See, in our complicated process of being an educated human being, we find ourselves being easily deceived. All of us, and none of us have not been deceived at one time in our lives by somebody or something. Folks, you've been deceived since you were born. Your government and your political officials and your rich corporate aristocracy, wealthy elite, and the Rothschild dynasty and empires would still control all the central banks in the world, with the exception of North Korea. And that's it. Because the Iranian bank, where they just sent $400 million to, thank you, Obama, but he can't send $6 million to help some lady who got her head chopped off because she was kidnapped, and he can't send FEMA down there and spend $5 billion on the Louisiana flood. Oh, they got a couple $100 million, but they can send $400 million to Iran on 2 pallets, secret in the night. What a friggin' deception. And then when we catch them in a lie and they say, oh yeah, I did it, they don't even care. The worst thing is a deceiver who, when they catch him, and he says, yeah, you caught me, I'll pay you back. The worst one is a deceiver, when you catch him, he says, yeah, you caught me. And in Italian, you go, hey, fungo. What are you going to do about it? Nothing. Absolutely nothing. There was a time in this country that we would throw the rat bastards out. Didn't matter what party they're from. There was a time in this country that a man would stand up. In mass numbers, men would. There was a time in this country that a guy like Martin Luther King could change the direction of America with the mass amount of people he got behind him. Not anymore. You'll never see that happen ever again, folks. There will never be a Martin Luther King. There will never be a JFK. There will never be a Gandhi. There will never be a Mother Teresa. There will never be a Robert Kennedy. There will never be that again on God's blue-green earth. It will never happen again because they'll be slain before they get foothold. Ain't gonna let anybody rock the boat. You tell me, please, how in the world that anybody, when all those priests are raping and pedophiling little boys and girls for thousands of years? Oh, that's just one bad apple. Hey, you know something, guys? I'm sorry, the world according to Torero, one bad apple for me wrecks 50% of the barrel. Another bad apple wrecks half of that half left. And another bad apple, forget it. I'm never going to have any apples again. Just tell me, how do we Americans, how can we forgive liars and cheats and backstabbers at the government and the aristocracy level? How do we forgive entities like the Rothschilds and the DuPonts and the Warburgs and the Bilderberg societies? How do we forgive our politicians for selling out? And every one of them do. I told you Trump is never going to build the wall. And I'm a Trumpster. I'm going to vote for the man. But I told you he would never build the wall, and he's backpedaling on it. Didn't I tell you? And I gave you an interesting explanation as to why, the clash of religions and population demographics. Interesting theory. But I told you he was never going to do it. He's never going to do it. What's the great surprise? Deception, deceit. They smile in your face all the time. They want to take your place. The backstabbers. All I ask is that remember the Wing Chun we did at the start of the show. When you're getting pummeled in the face, boom, 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 boom. Watch out for the kick below the knee. Because that's the one that takes you out, baby. Never, ever, ever trust a politician. Never, ever, ever, ever trust big business, banking entities, and taxable agencies. Never, ever, ever trust anybody. Until you can verify them And if they get their little feathers rustled and rustled because you have to verify them, see ya. Verification comes trust. And keep verifying to trust some more. And keep verifying to trust some more. Verify to trust. Verify and validate to trust. These politicians we have today, here's the illusion, the great theater they're creating for you and me to watch. That is so excitingly entertaining. It's better than watching The Mad Men when that was on. It's better than watching Walking Dead. And it's going to get worse as they throw the muck and they chuck the puck. The cow poo-poo. It's going to get worse. You see, it's designed to that way. For us to get lost in the punch in the face. But what's happening underground, underneath our feet? I don't care whether it's Trump and Pence or Clinton and Kane. It doesn't make any difference. Johnson or Jill. Donald Duck or Mickey Mouse. Makes no difference. Just remember, it's okay to be deceived if you know you're being deceived, because then you make a choice of acceptance and accepting that deception. That means you have a choice to not accept it. But when you don't even know you're being deceived, they're playing you, baby. They're playing you. And I don't care if you're a Harvard graduate or you're a graduate of the streets. Don't let them deceive you without you knowing it, at least. Fun Time Friday here in Southern California. Jesse T trying to connect the dots in a different way to kind of get your mind thinking over the weekend about what's really happening in the mudslinging contest. Remember that Wing Chun. What's happening above means there's something happening below. And you got to see which one is going to affect you. As we approach the end of the show, it's good to have you along Monday through Friday from 5 to 6 here, trying to twist your mind around just a little bit different way and look at things with the idea of the world according to Torero. We can win the day, Americans, if we understand the rules of the game, how they play them, and we reverse it and play it against them as a power of many, which would control the power of one. But we have to rise together to make the difference, because individually we can't. They're too powerful and they'll shut you down. So come together and let's make this country right again. The USA, God's greatest country ever created in the history of the world. God's green, blue earth we call America the Beautiful. This is Jesse Torero. Straight on the point, live at 5. And remember, tonight, VMA party. Going to broadcast live from a party, baby. Having some fun on the red carpet. And we want you to be there. The twin cams are working. Dan the Man the Package. And tomorrow, out at the Venice Music Festival. Have a great weekend. Have a fun time. The Brown Beauty is off duty. See ya.